a couple defensive scheme things. We didn't. We had a lot of guys, missing. Steven didn't practice. Brandon didn't practice. We had some other guys limited in what they could do in practice. So, how much we got accomplished, I don't really know, to be honest, Christian.
And I know you guys said yesterday, BI is out against the Sixers. Do you know yet about Steven?
No, we do not.
Hey Stan, I guess just more on I guess some of the limited guys were any of those hey, I know we feel like we ask you this every other day, but anything on Nikhil or Josh, are they any closer to being able to come back?
Nikhil practiced today. Now we didn't do any contact stuff at all, but he did go through all the stuff that we did. He subbed in and out. He didn't take every rep as we set it up, but he was in there in practice today. Steven didn't practice. Josh did not practice.
Hey, Stan, when you look at this and you're a game and a half out, it felt like some of those losses, the Spurs lost, the Nuggets lost, the Warriors all felt a little backbreaking, and you wind up in a position where you're right in the hunt of this thing. How do you kind of assess that from a broader view, and how much does it mean that your players have kind of not, let go of the rope, to use your terminology?
Yeah, and listen, Scott, I talk about that all the time. Like, we all know what the problem areas have been. Early in the year it was with our defense, and now since the All-Star break, we're the number 6 defense in the league. 30 games is a large sample size. So to go from 29th in the first half of the season to 6th in the second half of the season, tremendous improvement. We know at times we've played really good offense, where we've been a top 10 offense all year. So there's been some really good things, but we know what the problems were. The problems defensively early in the year, the turnover problems, which have crept back up, the inability to close games at times. So we know what all the negatives are, but there's a lot of positives. But to me, the biggest positive is our guys' resilience, and they keep coming back. And every time that people are tempted to sort of write them off, and expecting a big letdown, it hasn't happened, and so I think that speaks to the character of this group. And I don't know if there's anything more important going forward for a team as you try to move ahead over the last 6 games and into the future, as having that kind of character and resilience, and our guys have shown it time after time after time.
Speaking of that character and resilience, Coach, what is your goal for this squad over this next stretch to close out the regular season? What do you want to see, whether it's a mentality goal, an execution goal?
Well, Jen, we talked about it last game. I think I mentioned it to you guys afterwards. I mean, our theme sort of over these last 2 weeks is we just want to play winning basketball, and we've defined that in a lot of ways. Winning teams take care of the ball. Winning teams get back on defense. Winning teams defend, and they make physical plays. They take charges. They dive on loose balls. They block people out. And winning teams set screens and, move the ball to get good shots. Like, whether the ball goes in or not, and whether the other team makes shots or not, there's things you don't have control over. So we're not defining winning basketball in terms of the result or the record. We want to play and do the things, focus on the things that win games. And over the long haul, if you do that enough, then it all takes care of itself. And so that's where we want to focus. I thought we did a lot better job on Tuesday than we did on Monday. On Monday, we had a lot of defensive breakdowns, gave up layups, we turned the ball over. We did not play winning basketball. On Tuesday night, I thought we played winning basketball, and we still, didn't shoot the ball great or any of that, but we did those things that we talked about. And so that's what we want over these last 2 weeks. Play winning basketball and let the score take care of itself.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of talk after that game on Tuesday about the Lonzo text message to Zion and him saying, "Hey, I messed up on Monday. I'm going to improve it on Tuesday." I guess when you're building out the culture of a team, how important is that accountability in your best players? That willingness to look in the mirror and say, "Hey, I messed up and I got to improve when you're building out, like you said, the culture within this franchise.
Yeah, well, it's extremely important, and I think guys have certainly been willing to be accountable. The next step, and we've said it, so I'm not saying anything that they don't know. We've said it to them is, our three best players have got to take that same level of responsibility and accountability on the defensive end of the floor that they feel on the offensive end of the floor. And they don't need to stand up. Everybody thinks about leadership as, who's the guy in there that's going to be, giving the speeches and all of that. No. Your teammates need to look out on the floor and see your commitment to winning based on how you're willing to do the hard things. Defend, run back, block out, get loose balls, all of that stuff. That's how you lead a team. And I know those three guys are all really young, but that's the kind of leadership we want to see from them, is taking that kind of accountability and responsibility on the defensive end of the floor.
All right, thanks, Coach.